Do subscribers matter on YouTube? Do subscribers matter at all? Do followers matter for that instance in 2025? This is a popular concept slash debate that's been going on in online circles for at least the last couple of years, but seems to start to pick up once again with the advent of how social media has been evolving in this digital economy that we got going on right now. Now, a lot of YouTube gurus, a lot of popular, YouTube influencers are going to tell you that yes, subscribers don't matter, followers don't matter in the big 2025. But the main thing is a lot of them are trying to explain why that might be the case. Do I personally think subscribers and followers matter? Actually, no. Not as much as they used to mean, say, back in the days when we're talking about, say, vanity numbers for YouTube play buttons, because the YouTube play button was much harder to get, pre YouTube shorts than it is now. My goal as a YouTuber, when I was like growing up and whatnot, my goal was to get 100,000 subscribers, and I reached that on one of my channels through YouTube Shorts back in 2023. But it didn't feel as, I guess you could say, as validating or as gratifying as it would have been if I just focused on long form content and got there, I guess you could say, the harder way, right? In retrospect, what does subscribers, or should I say, what are they good for nowadays, right? It's not just only vanity numbers. Of course, on YouTube, 500 subscribers unlocks the bare minimum for monetization, and 1,000 subscribers plus the watch hours is where you unlock the full monetization on YouTube. But when it comes to these bigger numbers, the larger the channel you are, the better the deals that you can start to get from brand deals and sponsorships and partnerships. And I think a lot of people, especially if they're in this space for creating a business around their channel, pretty much understand that. However, it seems to be that when it comes to YouTube and all these other social media platforms, it's not really about how many subscribers you got. It's how many people are returning to watching your content. And that's why in your YouTube studios, when you have new viewers versus return viewers, the return viewers is like the most important thing about YouTube. Actually, return viewers is like the most important thing social media wise, right? Because if you interact with these algorithms on across all of these platforms, you'll start to notice that if you watch a video, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok or Twitter, hell, Instagram, Facebook, like all these big platforms, that you'll most likely be recommended that same creator whose video you saw in the future. And if you watch more of their videos, even if you don't follow them, then you will still be recommended their content. Now, of course, you get recommended this person enough times that you figure that, hey, you know what, maybe I will hit the follow button on them. But if you keep giving these positive interactions with the content that you're watching, these algorithms are now saying that, okay, we don't really need to have people, you don't need to subscribe to these people because we're just going to show you them regardless. YouTube has this other thing that's been going on where people get unsubscribed from channels all the time, just because they're like inactive, or YouTube is like purging them and whatnot. Like that's been a thing for like how many years now? Like it feels like the last 8 years or so. So that's the thing that's naturally been happening. But YouTube has had this push towards, viewer satisfaction at the end of the day, because they also see how viewer satisfaction has been working when it comes to short form content and how long people are watching content. Now, back in the day, back in the days when it came to YouTube, you could be monetized for just having 10,000 views. Could you imagine if we had those same monetization requirements in 2025, where you only needed 10,000 views in order to be partnered, in order to have monetization on your channel? Now, I have a couple of channels from back in those days where it was just that easy in order to get, YouTube monetization. But that's why they started to change their metrics, because they wanted to focus more on, well, how many people are actually watching your videos and how long they're watching your videos. And that's where we start to get a lot more people making much longer videos on YouTube to keep these people on the platform. YouTube has always been a platform that says, how long can your video keep the user on the platform? Not, are these users going to subscribe to you? Now, at the end of the day, subscribers do have a metric, and it's mostly found for people that the larger you get, it's one of those things that the better deals you get, right? Obviously, you know, I got like music sponsorships and brand deals when I had that were better when I had a channel that has 100,000 subscribers versus one that had like 1,000 subscribers. However, that doesn't mean that you can't get, you know, these music sponsorships or these other sponsorships and brand deals, partnerships, if you don't have 100,000 subscribers. Usually it's just how much I guess you say the engagement and the vanity number for these companies matter for them, right? That's pretty much where subscribers and followers really come down to. You know, back in the days, you could, you know, you have a lot of influencers who just botted how many subscribers they had to influence, you know, these brand deals, but then they start to realize that, hey, we're not getting the exact engagement that we were expecting, but we just gave you like the bag. We just gave you this buttload of money and it's not really yielding any results because people get tricked by, you know, the larger subscriber number. Hell, there's a lot of people who think I'm making like bank on one of my main channels, which is like has over 100,000 subscribers. And you know, when friends of mine are saying, hey man, you're doing really well, you know, your YouTube channel, they're just looking at the vanity number because a lot of people equate subscriber number to, I guess, how much a content creator is making if they're rich. Obviously on this channel, I've shown you guys, like, just because you have a channel for 100,000 subscribers does not mean you're making like $100,000. Like, you know, we are doing a rebrand series where we're trying to, you know, increase the overall amount on that particular channel from like $20 a month to like $1,000 a month and beyond, right? So that's what I'm saying, like these vanity numbers is what people have been drawn to and think about for like previous years. But YouTube and all these social media platforms are just saying that, hey man, subscribers don't really matter in the long run. Now there's other reasons why, you know, subscribers can matter once again when it comes to vanity numbers, because you're also going to start to look at, you know, how many true fans, how many true subscribers and people are dedicated to following you. Like, do you have followers / subscribers that will follow you to every single platform that you will upload content on, or every single platform like that you will have a business endeavor in, right? That's where you want to start to really think about, you know, your subscribers itself. YouTube don't even show your subscribers 100% of your videos. If you go to your YouTube studio section and notifications, you're gonna start to see like 20, maybe 30%, even if that will get your videos themselves, right? So like, I noticed that, of course, when I subscribe to a YouTube channel, half the time I don't see their videos anymore. Like, especially because if I don't interact with that channel for a very long time, I have to continuously, you know, look at, say if a channel is making anime content, I watch those, you know, anime related videos from them, I hit that subscribe button, and unless they're uploading like every single day and I'm watching their content like every single day, YouTube is going to show me another channel that's just as good as that channel, or maybe not as good as that channel, but it's within the same realm that of what I liked in that anime video. So if it's a reaction video, they're gonna show me another reaction channel that might be as good or better like than what I just previously watched. And I guess you could say that this, in terms of YouTube subscribers and followers mattering in the foreseeable future, it's gonna start to dwindle. You know, there might be a time where YouTube goes away from how many subscribers you need to have for monetization, and they're going to start to look at, well, how many watch hours in total. Like, they might increase the barrier for watch hours in the future. You know, that sounds crazy right now, but it is something that can happen in the future, because no one, like, you know, the barrier right now for YouTube Shorts, it's all about viewership. Like, what happens if YouTube starts saying that you need to average like a certain amount of watch time on your YouTube Shorts for you to be monetized instead? And I think a lot of people will prefer that over the 10 million views a month, if I'm, you know, relatively speaking right now, because, you know, like when you look at YouTube Shorts and I see like some of my shorts and I have like 30,000 watch hours on a channel that has, you know, 1,000 subscribers, but that channel cannot be monetized because YouTube has limited YouTube Shorts to only care about the views. You know, like, it's how far are these things going to continue to go? Like, there's channels right now that have like, say, almost 100,000 subscribers with like no like monetization, because they don't have, you know, either the watch hours, because they only counting the views from the YouTube Shorts, So you get into some wonky fields. So we'll see how YouTube say monetization policies evolve over the next couple of months to years. But let me know what you guys thinking about, you know, this whole little debate slash concept of whether subscribers and followers matter anymore in 2025, and will they matter in the future in terms of, you know, viewer satisfaction at the end of the day. For those of you that want to join my Discord, I've officially reopened it, so you guys can check the comment section down below, and I'll be coming to you guys with another video pretty soon. So if you enjoyed this one, give it a like. You don't even need to subscribe, but give it a like, and you know, I'll catch you guys for the next video. So with that said, doses.